Hi, it's me, the guy you're about to watch in a video, which honestly, I don't know why you're doing that, but thanks. And also a huge thank you to all of the names on the screen right now. These are all of my patrons, all of my Patreon supporters, and without them, I couldn't do what I do. So massive thank you. Please check out my Patreon if you feel like it, but other than that, enjoy the video. I've got puddin' slippers. Puddin' slippers. Hi, it's fucking Blue the Dragon, and today I've got things to say, like always. So I've been in the fandom since about 2004. It's about 15 years, and I've seen a lot of things change, a lot of people coming and going, more often than not people coming. I'm 25. So the furry fandom is definitely always changing, and we're definitely growing. We're getting new people joining our fandom every year, and it's getting pretty fucking massive compared to what it was when I joined, at least. But are we something that could be considered mainstream? That's what we're here to find out. Let's do that, okay. Just quickly before I get into the video though, I'd like to thank Amino for sponsoring this video, Furry Amino specifically. Thank you very much. Amino is actually a group of social networking apps, with Furry Amino being one made specifically for the furry fandom. I'll get more into that later, but thank you very much for sponsoring this video. Let's go. So I want to start off by defining mainstream. No, I don't. So I want to start off by defining furry. Furry is an anthropomorphic creature, which is a creature that has human characteristics. Maybe they talk or walk like a human, think like a werewolf. And someone who is part of the furry fandom is a person who is simply a fan of anthropomorphic creatures. But the confusing part is a furry can refer to the anthropomorphic creature itself, and a furry can also refer to someone who is in the furry fandom. So it gets a bit fucking... We should have done better with that, I'm sorry. So I'll try my hardest to make sure you know which one I'm talking about throughout this video, because I am going to reference each one of them. But that is pretty much the definition of a furry. It's either an anthropomorphic creature, so werewolf kind of thing but with any animal, or someone who likes werewolf kind of thing but with any animal. There's your options. Okay. Now let's define mainstream. I'ma look it up. The ideas, attitudes, or activities that are shared by most people and regarded as normal or conventional.
Mainstream.
Awesome, that was a lot easier to define than furry was. So right off the bat, I would say by definition, being a furry is definitely not mainstream, because being a furry is not considered normal, being part of the furry fandom. But the idea of a furry, an anthropomorphic creature, is that maybe possibly mainstream? Because I mean, furries are in a lot, and I mean like a shit ton of mainstream media. We're in TV shows, movies, books, comics, video games, music videos, everywhere. Pretty much anything you can think of, there's been some sort of anthropomorphic creature or furry in that sort of media. Now, sometimes it's a furry as in someone in the fandom, but more often than not, it's a furry as in just an anthropomorphic creature. So we do get to see those a lot. Like, here are just a few examples. We have pretty much every Disney movie, a bunch of kids shows including Peter Rabbit, Shaun the Sheep, Dragon Tales, Peppa Pig, My Little Pony, Dora the Explorer, American Dragon. We also have Family Guy, BoJack Horseman, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Arthur. Good old Arthur. Yeah, that's right. Arthur's a furry. How do you feel about that? And Shrek, Lion King, Kung Fu Panda, Madagascar, Over the Hedge, Fox and the Hound, Ice Age, Jungle Book, Lady and the Tramp, Robin Hood, of course, and how can I forget Zootopia? Good old Nick Wilde and Judy Hopps. Some games include Sonic, World of Warcraft, Crash Bandicoot, Final Fantasy, Spyro the Dragon, Skylanders, Skyrim, Star Fox, Donkey Kong, Armello? Armello. Did I write that down correctly? I did. Armello. Banjo-Kazooie, Animal Crossing, Sly Cooper, Ratchet and Clank, and Jack and Daxter. Just to name a few.
We're everywhere.
We are also in music videos, including Na Na Na, music video by Michael What? Help me. Na 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 by My Chemical Romance, 9 in the Afternoon by Panic at the Disco, and of course Lone Digger by Caravan Palace, probably also many others. And then also sports and school mascots are generally just big old fursuits, so those are kind of furries. Pretty exposed to those if you look at them, I guess. As I mentioned before, comics and manga, there's even a Marvel comic, I think, where a girl turns into what's basically a werewolf and calls it her persona. So there's that. Barney is pretty much a furry. Dorothy the dinosaur from The Wiggles, if you know who they are. And this weird show that I was a part of, that was pretty much me just being a furry on stage for money. Live for it. Love it. Entertained the children, the kids, for decades to come. No, not really. It was like a half-hour show. So we're everywhere. We are everywhere. We're right up in your face. You see us a lot. Furries are everywhere. Furries as in the anthropomorphic creature themselves more so, but we're kind of everywhere. So does that make us normalized? I don't know. You may have noticed that a lot of the things listed are aimed at kids. I think that's because kids like animals, they think they're cute, so they think anthropomorphic creatures are probably cute if they're drawn the right way, as long as they're not drawn tearing each other apart like a werewolf. Where did that come from? Where am I going? As I was saying, a lot of them are aimed at kids, and at that young age, they're still figuring out what's normal and what's not. So if they are subjected to furries, if kids are subjected to furries enough times, they're just gonna get used to seeing it. So then later in life, when they see an anthropomorphic creature on the screen or in an advertisement, oh shit, I forgot to list advertisements. Advertisements. Finish what I was saying about the chitlins. The little kidlets. Oh, did I pretty much finish what I was saying? Yeah, they're figuring out what's normal, they see it a lot, and it becomes pretty much normal for them. It's not a shock to them later in life when they see it again, and they might see it in advertisements. There we go. So I don't know if you've noticed, so I don't know if you've paid attention, but a lot of advertisements have anthropomorphic creatures in them. Whether that's a TV commercial, or a still image advertisement, or even just the logo of a company, they're everywhere. Furries are everywhere in advertising. I think it's, again, to make it look more friendly, like the same thing with the kids. They like the characters looking friendly. The brands want to look friendly and inviting, so they get a fluffy bear with a big smile to talk for them instead of some grumpy fat CEO. It makes sense, but we see it a lot. It doesn't shock anyone when we see it. No one looks twice. So does that make it normal? Which would then make it mainstream. Not only are furries everywhere in media and in advertising, they are also everywhere on the internet. That is our domain, that is our home. We have infested every single corner of the internet, and especially now that social media is a thing, giving every single person a voice, every single person a chance to share what they're interested in and what they've been creating. Well, furries create a lot, so we've been sharing a lot. Think of your normal social networks like Facebook and Twitter. We're all over those. We have our normal profiles, and then on top of that, we normally have a second profile as our furry character, our fursona. So we're all over that. We're double all over that, actually. God damn it, that's kind of sad. Firstly, we're all over every single art website, because that is a big part of our community. That is pretty much the center of our community. Since we're a fan of an idea and not a specific show or anything, we do rely on creating our own content, which means we spread a lot of content, and we have a really high quality of content in the furry fandom. We have a lot of fantastic artists and animators who are really good at what they do, and they spread that around, and because it's good quality, it gets shared. People get exposed to what we're doing. So as I said, we're on pretty much every art website. We then have our own specialized art websites such as Fur Affinity, Weasel, Ink Bunny, etc. There's many more. Then we're also sharing our art on social media, like general social media. We're all over that. We're sharing our art, we're sharing our creations, we're sharing our interests, we're sharing pictures from conventions, videos from conventions, we're sharing everything, everywhere. We're all over everything. Furries are pretty much the herpes of the internet. We're even on YouTube. Hello. Hi. So as I said, we are all over the internet. We are in every single corner. We're right up in there. We're just putting fur in your creases. We are in every single space of the internet, and when we run out of space to fill, we create our own spaces to fill, such as Furry Amino. Segue. As I was saying before, Amino is a group of social networking apps, and Furry Amino is a specific app for the furry fandom. There are thousands of active users, they're super vocal and super creative, and there's just tons going on. There's different groups you can join, tons of people to meet. I have a profile. Check it out. Looks like this. You should add me. Links in the description, I think, if I can figure out how to put it in the description. I'm a professional. Furry Amino's been around for years, it's been growing constantly for years, and it's got a fantastically large user base, and if you want to make friends or even just find a place to be general furry trash, this is it for you. Check out Furry Amino in the description below. It's available on Android and iPhone, and I'm pretty sure that's it. If there's something else, it's flashing here right now. Thank you, Editing Blue. You're nice. As I was saying, we are everywhere. We are everywhere. Not only do we use social networks that everyone else uses, we use our own special social networks as well. But yeah, check it out, give it a download. Do all that. Thank you very much to Furry Amino for sponsoring this video, and thank you very much for adding me as a friend, because I need more of them. Oh, my bad. You just caught me on Furry Amino when I'm meant to be editing. It's just so addictive, I simply can't put it down. I actually just made a poll on there about whether furries are mainstream or not, so I can find out what you guys really think. Link's in the description, you should download it, participate in the poll, let me know what's up. Just let me know. So is so much furry crap being spread around on the internet? What's the answer? Are we mainstream or no? I personally would say while being a furry isn't mainstream, while being part of the furry fandom is definitely not mainstream, the idea of a furry, anthropomorphic creatures, I would say are mainstream because when people see them, they don't react in any way differently to anything else. I mean, if you saw one in real life, yeah, you'd probably have some sort of reaction. But the depiction of anthropomorphic creatures, seeing them in TV shows, games, movies, advertisements, music videos, everything that I've listed prior, seeing them in that so often and having no reaction to it because it's normal, I would say that that then makes it mainstream. So are furries mainstream? Furries the fandom? No. Furries the creature? Yeah, I would say that they are. They are used by mainstream media, they're enjoyed by a mainstream audience. Think of Zootopia, it did really, really well. It was made by Disney, who is massive and enjoyed by a massive audience. I would say that's pretty mainstream. I'm not sure if the furry fandom's ever going to be mainstream. I'm not sure if any fandom is ever really going to be or really wants to be mainstream. It's just something that I've been thinking about, something that people have asked me recently, so I thought I'd discuss it at length by myself in a room. What do you think? What are your opinions? Do you think the furry fandom is mainstream? Do you think it's going to become mainstream as it continues to grow over time? Or do you think that the idea of a furry is or isn't mainstream? Let me know in the comments below. Yeah, I'm gonna stop doing that now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a good time. Don't forget to subscribe if you want a more video. If you want a more video from me, do a subscribe from down below. Give me a like for that. And I'll see you in the next video, but until then, fuck off.